Jared Leto allegations spark ugly new Hollywood whispers as Inner Circle sounds the alarm, disturbing deleted post and dressing room claims. Just as Jared Leto was gearing up for a victory lap over Masters of the Universe, the streaming hit that finally broke his box office curse, a wave of allegations erupted, threatening to overshadow his Hollywood comeback. The 90s teen heartthrob turned Oscar winner had caught a break playing Skeletor in the He-Man reboot. After a grim run of big-budget flops including Disney's Tron, Ares and Marvel's Morbius, the role was widely seen as a career reset. That narrative shifted overnight with a bombshell BBC documentary, Jared Leto, Hollywood's Dark Secret, in which 10 women allege sexual misconduct by the 30 Seconds to Mars frontman. 4 of them accuse him of criminal sexual conduct when they were teenagers, describing incidents that include sexual assault in a motel bathroom at 17, alleged statutory rape with another 17-year-old in California, a threatened sexual assault at 19, and grooming from age 16.
Fruit flies taking over your kitchen? This discreet plug-in trap uses light to attract flying insects, then captures them on a replaceable adhesive cartridge, without noisy zapping or messy sprays. Want to get the best verified deal and see full details? Visit grabdeal.us/one right now.
The alleged incident spanned 2002 to 2016. Leto, now 54, has not been charged and calls the claims absolutely and categorically false. Even so, those close to him say he's grappling with the reality that everything he's built could vanish. Jared's career in film, TV, and on stage with his music is very much in trouble, a source told the Daily Mail. He might be completely done, and he knows it. It is scary for him right now. Jared Leto was hit with a wave of sexual misconduct allegations on Wednesday, threatening to end his Hollywood career overnight. Jared's career in film, TV, and on stage with his music is very much in trouble, a source told the Daily Mail, adding, he might be completely done, and he knows it. They continued, he knows that he is now in territory where people aren't going to work with him, and his career trajectory is now forever hampered with these allegations. And he has a sobering blueprint to study. Armie Hammer was effectively blacklisted from Hollywood after multiple sexual misconduct accusations, even though no charges were ever filed. Jared is devastated, the source continued. These accusations are brutal and something that nobody would ever want to deal with. While Hammer's downfall was fueled by graphic texts about cannibalism and kink, Leto's situation carries its own weight, with multiple women saying they were targeted as minors. In the BBC documentary, one woman described being groomed by Leto and accused him of making repeated sexually explicit phone calls to her when she was 16. She alleges his team sent her a non-disclosure agreement to gag her about the relationship, a document she refused to sign. For more women told the BBC they were on the receiving end of strange and often very sexual calls from Leto when they were in their teens, the report said. The BBC said it had independently verified their stories by speaking to friends and family who knew about the encounters at the time, and by examining photos and messages that backed up their accounts. Jared is devastated, a second source told the Daily Mail, adding, these accusations are brutal and something that nobody would ever want to deal with. 2 former crew members from 30 Seconds to Mars also told investigators that Leto routinely invited underage girls to his dressing room on tour or to his home while he was in the studio. One woman said Leto clocked her backstage at a 2006 gig when she was 17, got an associate to fetch her number, and later had sex with her at his California house, where she says he just kind of shrugged it off, when she mentioned she was under the age of consent. Another accuser, who alleges she was assaulted in a motel bathroom when she was 17, told the BBC she first met him at a Las Vegas shop where she worked. He invited her to his hotel, but the address he gave turned out to be for what she described as a dingy, gross motel. She thought they were heading somewhere more upmarket. Instead, she says he called her into the bathroom so the pair could talk while he showered. The documentary recounts her allegation that he then grabbed her hand and used it to masturbate himself. In response, Leto issued a short statement on Wednesday. I have never sexually assaulted anyone in my entire life. These claims are absolutely and categorically false, the source told the Daily Mail. With these allegations hanging over him, even though he has denied them, it could be years before another major opportunity presents itself. Many studios and brands are reluctant to take on the potential controversy that comes with casting or partnering with someone facing this level of public scrutiny. Endorsement deals could also be affected, making this an incredibly difficult and uncertain chapter in his career. But studios and brands were already side-eyeing Leto's trajectory after he'd basically earned the crown of box office poison. Tron, Ares, 2025, was meant to be Disney's long-awaited sci-fi comeback. Instead, it became a $130 million plus write-off, grossing just $142 million worldwide against a $220 million budget. Morbius, 2022, Sony's vampire spin-off, didn't just stumble, it became an internet punchline, losing roughly $80 million and fizzled even harder when the studio tried to re-release it. And Haunted Mansion, 2023, where Leto popped up as the Hatbox Ghost, pulled in a disappointing $117 million worldwide against a $150 million production budget. And though he was part of Masters of the Universe, hiding under that grisly Skeletor getup, the film's box office numbers were hardly heroic. Yes, it shot to #1 on Amazon Prime, but it pulled in just $113 million worldwide against a $170 million to $200 million price tag. He did an amazing performance with Skeletor, but the Masters of the Universe movie didn't do well enough for a chance to make a sequel, the insider explained. He's been given big tentpoles that haven't done as well as many would expect, and that isn't going to help either. The first source told the Daily Mail, with these allegations hanging over him, even though he has denied them, it could be years before another major opportunity presents itself. Above, with Terry Richardson in 2015. He isn't getting younger, and no matter how amazing of an actor he is, and no matter the accomplished artist he is with his music, these allegations basically kill you, the source explained. Even his so-called wins came with strings attached. Suicide Squad, 2016, made money, but Leto's Joker was torn apart by critics and ultimately slashed down to a cameo. Off-screen, he's long been a favorite of luxury brands, a Hugo Boss ambassador since 2011 and the face of Gucci's guilty fragrance campaigns from 2016 onwards. But long before the BBC bombshell, Leto's name had been quietly whispered about in industry circles. Rumors of predatory behavior date back to at least 2005, when the New York Post claimed he was aggressively pursuing what they called underage objects of desire at a hotel. In 2018, director James Gunn weighed in. Replying to a tweet about Leto, he quipped, "He starts at 18 on the dot?" A not-so-subtle nod that Leto allegedly targeted teenagers right at the age of consent. Gunn later deleted the tweet, but screenshots kept circulating for years. In June 2025, Airmail published a report interviewing 9 women, sketching a near 2-decade pattern from 2006-2012 of alleged sexual impropriety and predatory behavior. Despite the mounting allegations, insiders say Leto could still stage a comeback. Granted, box office success and/or a hit song or a career-defying role, especially since he has already won an Oscar, could put him back on the map, the insider said. But Leto's big leading roles are thin on the ground right now, with nothing lined up, though he's still attached as a producer on a project called Lunatic Heist. His agency is still with him, and as of today, they are choosing to stand by him, a second source told the Daily Mail on Thursday. Meanwhile, a third insider said, he has nothing in the can as of right now, so there won't be a box office test or news of a studio pulling a release. He will probably be on the blacklist at least in the immediate future. Studios and networks are starting to really weigh options of how much of a headache they are willing to put up with more and more these days. They aren't willing to deal with outside drama and noise with certain actors for pricey paychecks. Yet his music career appears on track, with his band 30 Seconds to Mars' latest tour still slated to kick off in April 2027. Still, according to the first insider, these allegations are tough to beat. The second insider said, it is something he doesn't know if he will ever get over, because people are going to not believe him, and that is just an awful world to live in to know that people see him as a villain. Above, in 2016's Suicide Squad. Of the possible permanent damage, the first insider said, "It is something he doesn't know if he will ever get over, because people are going to not believe him, and that is just an awful world to live in to know that people see him as a villain." They added that he's always seen himself as an empathetic person, and that the wave of mistrust now surrounding him feels just awful. Leto first rose to fame as 90s teen dream Jordan Catalano in My So-Called Life and as frontman of 30 Seconds to Mars, the band he formed with his brother, Shannon Leto. He built a formidable film resume along the way. Cult turns in Fight Club, 1999, American Psycho, 2000, and Requiem for a Dream, 2000, before his Oscar-winning transformation as Rayon in Dallas Buyers Club, 2013. Later came high-profile roles in Denis Villeneuve's sci-fi noir Blade Runner 2049, 2017, and The Star-Studded House of Gucci, 2021. These Hollywood wins are something a fourth source close to the star wants to remember, as news of the accusations spread. "This is really hard to believe if true. He's such a nice guy, always on time, is totally a professional and respectful to everyone on set," the source told the Daily Mail. "From what I know of him, I really have a hard time believing he could do what he's being accused of." The Daily Mail has contacted Leto's representatives for comment.